Better hurry, spark it up with no worries. Harmonious gang with the big bro Yuriy, hyphy. Get lit just like me, big bossed up, chop it up with Rylee. You better come with it and kick rocks, cause you now tuned in to Tik Toks. Now let's get lifted and take a shot. You are now tuned in to Tik Toks.
Hello everybody.
Let's go.
I just meditated really quick.
Oh. Cheers.
Sorry. Cheers.
Oh god. That was warm.
It's so warm.
Yeah. Cheers guys. You know
Cheers, y'all.
You know I've been learning
Happy
recently?
Sunday.
Oh yes, happy Sunday to everyone.
What have you been learning?
But
recently?
actually, no, before I get into what I've been learning, thank you to every single person who's joined today's episode. Welcome to another episode of Tik Toks. We're here for episode 87, and I've been learning that we need to be more descriptive for our audio listeners, because we actually do have a good amount of people who listen only through like Spotify or whatever it is,
Right.
and we do a lot of stuff where like we don't exactly explain what we do. And I've been watching other podcasts, and I'm realizing they always do that. They're like, for the audio listeners, we're dancing around right now, like all this random stuff.
Yeah.
So we should start telling people.
That is true. And sometimes I do forget. Sorry, I forgot to turn that on.
I forgot to.
I do forget about like all the times that like I have like consistent podcasts I like to listen to, and sometimes I like to watch the video, but a lot of times I do I'm only listening to the audio.
Yeah, because you're sleeping.
And yeah, so yeah, exactly. But I mean, like going on Spotify and just clicking on the audio, like going to the gym or driving in your car, you're just listening to it.
Yeah. I think it's because I don't have I still...
You don't have a streaming platform?
Yeah, I don't have...
You only have SoundCloud?
I don't have Spotify. I guess is Apple Podcast free? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is.
But I still don't have YouTube Premium either, and I deal with the fucking issue, the ghetto way of doing it, which is basically play a video and leave it in your pocket and try not to press anything. And then, just like let the audio play. But honestly, it gets so fucking annoying, dude. I was literally going to go on an Instagram rant the other day about this, because sometimes I'm literally like cleaning the house or doing some random shit, and I have a video playing, right? And I'm like carefully touching the sides of my phone, like putting in my pocket to make sure I don't disturb the video. And then like I make one little move, and then out of nowhere I hear the beginning of a whole nother video. And I'm like looking through recommendations. It's not in the recommendations. It's not a link anywhere. I'm like,
or you click on the advertisement
video.
Oh,
that's what it is.
And it's so annoying.
Dude, every time I'm like, bro, you make one little false move and you're watching a whole nother video.
Exactly.
And if you go back to your other video, it doesn't remember where you were at. It's just like all this bullshit. But it's like, I'd rather deal with that than spend $5 a month on YouTube Premium.
You used to be able to go on YouTube and like click out of it and like lock your phone.
No way.
And like you just would have to press play.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah, you used to be able to do that.
But now they don't have that option
because
anymore.
they realized they could charge for it.
Yeah.
That's the method of all new companies. It's
every
company is like find free shit and charge for it. I found this new YouTube channel recently, and it was I forgot the name of it. I could probably find it in a second, but he was making a video about the what the fuck? Oh my god, no. Yeah, I was watching a YouTube Reels all accidentally. He was making I was watching a video of his about the soda business or whatever, right? I was showing it to Rylee, and then I got recommended another video about Nestle, the Nestle business or whatever, and how they're super fucked up. And dude, basically it was what we're talking about, how like he was like the dude who was making the video was saying how Nestle just charges for shit that should be free. And basically their first little crazy thing that Nestle did, which is, you guys know Nestle, the fucking rabbit with the cocoa and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. The best.
Chocolate milk.
Here's the thing fucked up is apparently I forgot what year this was, but a while ago they tried to get into the breast milk industry, where they sold dehydrated not actual breast milk, but they used cow milk mixed with other vitamins to make synthetic breast milk, right?
Formula.
Like a formula. They tried to get into the formula business, but they did a shiesty thing where they went to Africa went to poor areas of Africa, and they were like, hey guys, here's some free formula. They gave free formula until all the mothers couldn't produce milk themselves, because as a mother, if no one's sucking on your tit, it just stops doing it after a while, because you just, it's conserving energy or whatever. If someone's continuing to suck the juice out of you, it keeps making more juice.
I know the way.
Anyways, so Nestle basically went to Africa, fucking provided a bunch of free milk, waited till all the mothers couldn't produce milk on their own anymore, and then they're like, all right, no more free milk, it's $1.99 or whatever, and then they started charging for it. But then also on top of it, Nestle didn't understand that their synthetic milk isn't as good as like regular mom's milk, and by doing that little ad campaign, they killed hundreds of babies. And like it was like they've been trying to hide this shit for a long time. Apparently they've done opposing ad campaigns where now Nestle's trying to support breast milk because they made such a huge mistake where they killed a bunch of babies and shit. But it was basically like, yeah, the dude was talking about how like, yeah, breast milk, everyone has it for free. How do we get a way to charge these people for it? And then also what's crazy is Nestle, the CEO or the founder of the company, he publicly stated like 20 years ago, he said that water should not be considered a human right. He said that as a human, when you're born on the planet, water shouldn't be, you shouldn't expect to get water for free. You should expect to pay for it as soon as you're born. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, and this guy's a billionaire in charge of, and he's probably pulling strings, giving money to fucking Biden, giving money to Trump, giving money to all these fools. Don't give them water.
See, the things we should not learn about. Now fucking Nesquik bunny is ruined for me.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I lived off that shit.
And also, you know what? I
had the powder. Like, did you use
Wait, you were not breastfed?
Wait, what?
You said you lived off that shit.
I'm talking about
the cocoa.
But yeah, no, I wasn't. Remember? Okay, so last night, Yuri and I were watching the movie The Internship, and there's like this scene where this guy was like, "I was breastfed by my mother till the age of 7."
He's like, "That's why I'm so smart."
That's why I'm so smart. And then this other guy, Owen Wilson, who's like older, he's like supposed to be interning for Google, and he's like the older guy. All these other kids are like 19, 18. And he's like, I was like bottle fed. He's like, it doesn't matter whether it comes from a teat or a ba.
Yeah.
And then like this other intern like Googles it, and he's like, you're fucking wrong, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then Yuri was like, I was breastfed, and I was like, I definitely wasn't breastfed. That makes so much sense.
I have
definitely
a disturbing breastfeeding memory.
Oh God, you're old.
I don't know how old I was.
Oh God.
But this is the thing with memory and being a child is like I could have seen this like somewhere randomly. I don't know how I saw something like this, but I could have seen this somewhere and applied it to my memory, So I think I have a memory of me being a kid walking around the living room hungry, right?
Oh,
and then I fucking go into my parents' room, and my parents are wrestling, quote unquote, and I'm just like, oh shit, Mom, I'm hungry. And my mom's like, grab a cup, Yuri. I grabbed the cup, and I remember she like filled me up, and I just went into the other room and drank a cup of breast milk. I don't know.
Wait,
I swear this is a random memory. Maybe I shouldn't have said this in the beginning of the podcast and saved to hide this in the middle somewhere. Oh God. But anyways,
wow, that has never.
It shows why I'm so intelligent is the breast milk. I've been
that's what I was saying, because I'm definitely the slow one in the relationship.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. But then also now that we're giving are these crazy,
I was off the powder.
So I was off the.
You were off
the wet. I was off the wet. Anyways,
oh wow.
What?
That's so trauma.
How is that trauma to drink breast milk out of a cup?
No, seeing your parents.
Well, I'm putting that away. anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, when it comes to right now, when I made that little comment about Nestle and like the political stuff or whatever, right, guys, I would consider myself a stoner. I like to get high, and I like to be imaginative, and I like to just try to put things together, right? I'm not fucking doing no Alex Jones shit saying that a catastrophe didn't happen. I like to fucking play with ideas in my brain, and I do this all the time, and I post about my thoughts on Instagram.
Yes, we know
recently, the past week, it's not, okay, when I say this, I'm going to make this super clear. It's not a lot of people at all. It's like 3 people, one of which he's already made a hate video on me because of my political takes. 3 people have been like just DMing me going, Yuri, you idiot, how could you dare say this, blah 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 blah. I want to say to all of you guys who take my political takes like I'm teaching a class of fucking infants, suck my ass. I'm going to continue to make jokes and talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And also, I'm going to continue to wear Russian beanies because I was getting shit for that.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Dude, okay, you know what? I'm not even...
How are you going to tell a Russian not to wear a Russian beanie?
Bro, okay, the
he
idiot...
can't have pride for his fucking heritage? Come on.
One of the idiots who sent me that message, and at this point, I thought we were cool. And I made a reaction video to this guy making a video about me a while ago. I've showed you this dude before, whatever. He used to work for, honestly, I'm not surprised with his political views because he used to work for BuzzFeed. That's what he told me. He's like, I used to work for BuzzFeed, blah, blah, all this stuff. So, he's going to be fucking ultra leftist, obviously, or liberal, or whatever it is. But anyways, he was been sending me messages saying, Yuri, it's so fucked up for you to be wearing your Russia beanie at a time like this. You there's no other reason you're wearing it other than to show that you're supporting the Ukrainian war. And I was like, bro,
you're so
I don't want to get like ultra angry with anyone in my DMs and like, curse at them or anything like that. Yeah, like but I was responding to him and going like, bro, like you sound really dumb right now. And I was comparing it to like back DJ Vlad has talked about this, where DJ Vlad's older. He's an older Russian man, and he was in Russia. I mean, he was in America when America was dealing with like the Cold War, and everyone was like scared of Russian spies. That's why the Russian spy thing is a meme. We're all like super young, and we never saw it in our lifetime,
right.
But it was a thing back in the day where if you knew a Russian, you were like, you almost wanted to call the cops immediately, be like, yo, there's a Russian dude, or he lives on my block, he does these strange things or whatever. Like there was this like the stereotype, not even just stereotypes, but Russians were treated differently at a certain point in time because of the political things going on. And DJ Vlad has talked about that in his class, in one of his interviews, where he said like in his classroom he was treated differently and all this shit. And I was just like and then same thing with Japanese people, because if you guys don't remember, America had its own concentration camps for Japanese people when America was having its whole beef with Japan and all that stuff. When we dropped those nuclear bombs, guess what? We took every person that had Japanese heritage and threw them into a cell and told them, hey guys, sit here until the war is done because we can't trust you guys. And I sent them like links to this shit. I'm like, bro, this is the philosophy that you're applying to me. Russians equals bad, so don't be Russian. I'm supposed to hide that I'm Russian?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, dude.
It doesn't mean that you agree with everything that fucking is happening over
there.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's like telling me, like, if I was wearing a Mexico beanie, you're fucking wearing that Mexico beanie, you support the fucking cartels that are like killing innocent
but
civilians.
The cartels are like anti-politics. That means like they would be like, oh, you support these Mexican politics,
okay,
or,
but
like, or whatever.
Look at
it is.
Russia, like how many people support Putin?
Dude, that's
exactly.
a constant conversation over the Russian people, over how they support and who they support. And it's like, as a Russian person, guys, guess what? You can't share your opinion, really.
Yeah.
It's like you can if you're like, if it's just me and my homie, we're drinking, I'm like, yeah, fuck the president, he's such an asshole. But guess what? If I have like a platform, if I have 1 million subscribers and I'm living in Russia, my businesses are in Russia, my family's in Russia, I cannot go on YouTube and be like, our president's an asshole. Because guess what? They're going to take my businesses away. They're going to put us in jail probably for random fucking laws that we broke, that we never knew that we broke. Like, you can't, there's no freedom of speech in Russia. And then also, I didn't have a chance to show you this video yet, but that dude No Fuckers, Roman, he made a video titled "The Day Democracy Died in Russia," and I've asked my parents so many times about the chronological order of presidents, and even my family, my mom and dad were like kind of like confused on how many presidents we've had, and before USSR and after USSR and all that stuff. And then basically Roman in this video breaks down the chronological order of presidents in the in Russia. And USSR ended in 1993 or something like that, I believe. I forgot what year. But basically after USSR ended, this one dude who was basically a fucking communist, he was high-ranking communist, he was the first president, right? This dude, and also he was the first president, but Russia actually had a democratical system set up in the beginning where there's the president, but just like America, the president doesn't have all the power. There's the Congress, there's like all these different little things that can check his power. Russia had the same thing. That first Russian president like got rid of all of that, where he made sure that the president had full power. That dude, I forgot his name, dude. I'm trying to remember. But anyways, that dude, the first president, stepped down from power, gave it to Putin. Putin was president for 8 years. Putin stepped down, gave power to his homie, and then his homie was president for 4 years. Now Putin's back in presidency, which is illegal, by the way. He can only be president once. He's back in president. which is also which is legal. But then also he's been president for 10 years now, which is
Yeah.
also legal because they can't go past 8. So.
Right.
Like the presidents
not
have how
democracy.
it's basically a dictatorship.
It
You know what I
is.
mean? Like it's like not even a democracy anymore at this point. And you can't expect the Russian people to be able to voice their opinions and be like, we hate living here. They can't. You know.
They can't.
But
They
then
have
also-
no choice.
But
And plus, like, I mean, we see how easy it is to get in trouble with the law out there.
no, yeah, 100%. Look at Bald
You
and Bankrupt.
literally have to keep your lips sealed with anything.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I'm glad
And
you
like whenever we see those videos with people who are like actually speaking out about it and like giving their opinion, we're like, ooh, like
Yeah, I know. Well, No Fuckers is
it's crazy.
even No Fuckers has talked about it too, where he's like I can't even go too crazy. He's like I go a little bit, you know, I share my opinion a lot, but he's like even I can't share my full opinion because I don't live in Russia anymore, but my family does. If they really want, they could, you know, hurt me by hurting my family
Right.
and stuff like that. So it's just like it's all fucked up. But I'm glad you brought that up because we talked about this the last episode, how Bald and Bankrupt got kicked out of Russia, and everyone was always curious, why did he get kicked out? And everyone's speculating, oh, it's probably because, you know, Russia's having this war and they don't trust any Western ideologies and all that stuff. So that's why he got kicked out. And basically, I don't know how he got it, but some random Australian YouTuber posted the full Bald and Bankrupt interrogation. And I don't know how this Australian guy got it. It's so random. But he posted the full interrogation video, and I was watching it the other day. And dude, that video is very interesting where, okay, number one, I have to say this ahead of time. Bald and Bankrupt is in a Russian interrogation room. So he might be saying things to make them less suspicious or less scared of him, or maybe even let him out of jail. Allegedly. You know, so like he was, I don't think Bald and Bankrupt was, he could have potentially even been lying to make himself seem like less, you know, hated by the Russian government or whatever it is. But the thing I wanted to talk about is during that interview with interrogation with Bald and Bankrupt and the Russian police, Bald and Bankrupt says that the Russian police ask him, they're like, hey, you're a YouTuber. Does YouTube send out emails, or does YouTube tell their YouTubers, you know, the big YouTubers, what political takes to take and how to talk about Russia?
Wow.
And then Bald and Bankrupt says, he's like, actually they do. He said that I received an email, including every single other YouTuber's probably received an email, and if you read the email, it says, don't talk about Russia in a positive light. Don't hype them up. Like, not in those terms exactly, but basically in those types of legal, you know, mumbo jumbo terms, it says, do not talk about Russia, positively, like talk about politics in the way we want only, or else your videos are going to be demonetized. They're not going to be recommended, blah, blah. They're not saying that you're going to be kicked off the platform. They're just saying that, oh, you get 1 million views per video. We're going to make sure you get 10,000 on this one because you said these things that don't align with our politics.
Yeah.
And Bald and Bankrupt admits it. And I was like,
This was he probably received that email as soon as the invasion happened.
probably, but
they probably really did send that shit.
But what I was like thinking, like, dude, so I don't know if Bald said that to them to like to make them think like he's just a normal person,
he's helping us,
and he's helping them, or I'm wondering if he's really being serious there, and YouTube has a political agenda, FYI. It's like, that's why there's, you know, certain fucking voices are hidden, and that's why it's like, bro, you could just see the way things are. There's a hidden YouTube agenda with the way they want people to talk about things. But that kind of proves it for sure.
Look at the rest of the companies that had like what they did as soon as that invasion happened. They all
exactly
publicly
got out
announced their
exactly
their ties cut
because
with Russia.
And it's like, it's something that I don't know how to explain. It's some sort of political ties, and it's like you would have to look into the umbrella companies of these companies, and you have to look into their investors, and like you have to look into all that other stuff. But it basically almost definitely proves that as a big YouTuber, you have political agendas to push, you know. And with people like Philip DeFranco, which is like, oh, here's news, you know, think of it any way you want, and, you know, leave a comment in the comment section. No, it's not that way. Philip DeFranco purposely, the way he portrays certain information is like, it makes you already think a certain way. A lot of people do not just look at facts and form their own opinion. A lot of people will hear opinions already, especially in this day of influencers. They hear opinions already. They'll be like, oh, Katy Perry said this guy's an asshole, so he must be an asshole. They're not going to take the time to listen and be like, oh, well, with the facts that Katy Perry's providing, it seems like she's the asshole.
Was
you know
Philly
what I mean?
D like always doing the news, or was he like doing other things before he started doing news takes?
I don't know. I think he's always been doing the news. I don't know too much about it. He did a Joe Rogan interview a while ago. That's also another reason why I kind of don't fuck with Philly D's, because he did the same thing H3 did, which is like they work with people when it's a selfish reason, because they know this is going to help me become a bigger YouTuber. This is going to bring more eyes on me. But then as soon as they don't need that person's help anymore, they just talk shit on him.
Right.
Fucking H3 with Jordan Peterson. Had him on the podcast. Had him hit a vape pen. Why are you gonna have this fucking, you know, this teacher / doctor dude fucking hit a vape pen? You know what I mean? Like he did it for you because you thought you were friends and shit. Yeah. And then 5 months later, you're fucking clowning him and all this shit. Super fucked up. And the same thing with Phil DeFranco and Joe Rogan. It's just like Joe Rogan having Phil DeFranco on was such a big deal. He could have had so many other YouTubers on other than Philly D. Had Philly D on, probably was so huge for Phil DeFranco. And then now Phil DeFranco takes any moment possible to talk shit about Joe Rogan. Unless Joe Rogan falls under the leftist idea, unless Joe Rogan somehow, that's what I noticed too, is recently Logan Paul had that take on Andrew Tate, where Logan Paul was like, fuck Andrew Tate, he's an asshole, he's a women hater, all that stuff. If you guys go through the history of every time Phil DeFranco talked about Logan Paul, it's always been, he's an idiot, why do you guys watch him, he's a terrible YouTuber, he's a terrible person, he should be deplatformed, all this stuff. The moment Logan Paul says something Phil DeFranco fucking aligns with, he's just like, oh yes, let's platform this fool again. Let's remind people that Logan Paul thinks like this. You know, it's like, it really just shows the political agenda sometimes, which is just like, it's not crazy to think like that either. Every country has it. Every country wants their people to think a certain way. Every country wants their people to think they're the best. The other people are worse. We're nice. They're evil.
It actually it brings me back to that soda video you just showed me, like back in the day when they were just starting Coca-Cola, the brand, they used to say like it makes you lose weight. Oh yeah, no, that's why I wanted to talk about like, that. I wanted to bring that up because all these, media, nowadays like people will be so quick to be like, well, this scientific study here says that blah 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 blah. It's like, dude, there's so many examples of it where I forgot exactly what it was. I think even the cigarette companies were doing this at a point where the cigarette companies were buying scientists, or were buying like literal scientists that were supposed to study things that were bad for your health. They would give them $1 million and be like, hey, say cigarettes are good for your health. That's been happening forever. And in that video, which is like a more recent video, was posted in 2021 or I think this year, it was basically saying that the Coca-Cola, every soda company, basically to this day is paying a large amount of money to hide the fact that it gives you diabetes, it shortens your lifespan, it's super bad for your health, it's not good for you in any way, shape, or form. And it's just like, you have to, as a person, be able to fucking come to personal conclusions and understand things. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I see my homie's been drinking Coca-Cola for, you know, a month or two and now he's gained 10 pounds. But this website says that Coca-Cola is fine for you and, you know, you lose weight. Let me think. Well, like, they know. I think also, like, America knows that these sugary drinks are very unhealthy for you, aka they're going to make you sick in the long run. Yeah. They need people to come to their hospitals. They need people.
That's a whole nother conspiracy theory.
It is the truth though, right?
Well, like, potentially.
Look, like Coca-Cola is sponsored by everybody. Anything.
I know.
Gator. I'm pretty sure. Is it? I don't know.
Coca-Cola's sponsored by Gatorade?
Not. They're not sponsored, but I'm pretty sure they're like under the same umbrella, or like Powerade.
Oh,
pretty
really?
Much the same thing.
But that's a whole conspiracy theory. You can't prove that necessarily until you see that, you know, Coca-Cola is like, you know, their execs or whatever are working with one another. That's where you can get like super speculative. But
the conspiracy.
You have to be careful. Well, you have to be careful with the conspiracy theories.
This is because you sip on rock stars all day.
No. Rock stars are fucking terrible for you. I know it. I'm not.
And so is soda.
I know, but rock stars, dude, a soda compared to a rock star, I'm sure a rock star is a million times worse for you.
Yeah, but they're both horrible.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, I wanted to bring up that whole soda conversation because I was like, dude, here's a cold, hard fact that big companies can buy out scientific studies and actually buy, I forgot the name of the organization. I should have wrote down some more notes, but Coca-Cola at one point owned like the health department that was in charge of making sure that things were either healthy or not healthy. And this is the one company that everyone referred to for facts. Coca-Cola was their lead investor. And like, how are you going to talk shit about your lead investor? You're not, you know what I mean? So I don't know how the fuck we got on this whole rabbit hole.
Dasani.
Dasani, I know the whole thing.
That's Coca-Cola.
I honestly, every time I drink Dasani, I literally feel con mouth.
Because it has
No,
salt.
I know, but I'm just saying that's like I can feel that, you know.
I know.
It doesn't feel better when I drink.
You. And that's at only Dasani is at like every
sporting event and all that stuff.
Yeah, and amusement park. I was gonna say amusement park where you're fucking dehydrated, thirsty.
I know. You know what? Actually, you know what else is crazy? I didn't know this, but I knew about the change in serving sizes for Americans. How, like, you know, 30, 40 years ago, serving sizes of drinks and meals used to be way smaller compared to now because companies just want to sell more and more and you know, fatten up America and all that stuff. And then, dude, you know what's even funnier is Coca-Cola spends all this money to make sure people don't know about. Or people do know about them, but Coca-Cola does, you know, they go out of their way to make sure that people don't really like emphasize the fact that it's you know, it gives you diabetes and makes you fat, does all these things that are unhealthy for you or whatever, right? And then guess what day and age we live in right now? The day and age of body positivity. Oh, you're happy, then everything's great. Then if you feel good, then it must be perfect for you and everyone else. Then it's just like Coca-Cola and every, you know, big soda company must be loving this woke ass era where they're just like, yes, body positivity, fuck yeah, it doesn't matter if you're 5,000 pounds, let's go.
I sip my Diet
drink
Coke
more soda, dude,
and drink my water out of my Dr. Pepper cup.
Bro, like they're fucking dancing around the fucking Coca-Cola CEO room. They're just like, fuck yeah, dude, body positivity. Yes, this is the best thing that's ever been invented.
They were never
Who gives a fuck about facts?
Everybody will love soda.
No, I know.
A lot of people love soda.
But fuck, goddamn it, I forgot the point I was getting to before I even got distracted by that side thought.
The body positivity.
I got distracted by the body positivity thing. I was gonna say something else. But
speaking of ill, Yuriy got me ill.
Oh, well, good transition. Who said ill?
Well, we're talking about my conspiracy.
I'm gonna turn the AC on. It's hot, isn't it?
I can.
No, wait, I'm gonna grab the bottle too, because you can get into this ill talk.
Okay.
This ill ass talk.
So, what day was it, babe, that you started your 24-hour stream? Monday? Yes. I think it was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. On Monday, Yuriy had been promising another 24-hour stream because the week before he had done one, and while he was sleeping, the stream cut off. And after, like, I think he was, like, sleeping for 3 hours, so he's like, you know what, this is not even worth, like, restarting or whatever. Explained it to everybody. He was like, you guys, don't worry, next week. If the stream
was down for 3 hours and I restarted it, everyone's going to be like...
Scam.
It's going to have to be another 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm already going to have to do another one. I might as well just fucking cure my ailment and then get back into it.
So you were like, promise you guys, next week I'm going to do another 24-hour, maybe 24 hours of rest, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then...
I was kissing you, hugging you.
Sunday comes around and we do 10 talks. We're chilling. And then towards the night... Yuri's like, I feel like I'm getting a little sick. Like, he kept sneezing, and like, I think your throat was getting kind of itchy or something like that.
The night before, I was telling you, I was like, I feel kind of weird.
Because he couldn't stop sneezing.
Yeah. We already talked about the whole 24-hour stream so many times, though.
No, we didn't.
I think
this just happened on Monday.
This Monday?
Yeah.
I thought we did talk about it.
No, it was this Monday.
Oh, yes. When did I talk about it then?
You just had
maybe
two
on stream
24-hour
or something.
streams.
Oh,
That's
yes.
why.
But anyways,
yeah. Yuriy got very sick and couldn't continue his 24-hour stream. Long story short, sorry. And I thought I was going to be fine chilling because I was for like 2 days after. But then on Thursday, after disconnected, I was like, nope. Because the AC is constantly running and no jumper. And I told you guys they keep it at like 69.
It's freezing in there.
It's freezing back there. And I was like, and they have to because the lights are just so hot for like our guest and the host and stuff. So I understand. But after, like when we were doing disconnect, I was like, oh fuck! I could tell my throat was super tickly, and my nose was getting sniffly. I was like, oh no, I'm about to get sick. So this whole weekend, it was like chill time. I was super sick. Yeah.
And you're still kind of sick, like getting over it. Are you gonna be good by tomorrow? You think?
I think I'll definitely be fine by tomorrow. I went to work on Friday because I thought Thursday night I got like a lot of sleep, and so on Friday morning I felt really good. went to work, did the whole day, but like towards the last 2 hours, I was like, fuck, I feel like shit again.
Yeah, I was looking over during the Friday stream. Every time I looked over, Rylee was just like, oh, just like looked all dead. I was like, oh my god.
But me and Yuri have not had like a weekend where we just did nothing.
I know.
And so long, and it was.
I was gonna talk about that too. How like yesterday, basically Rylee and I spent the whole day on the couch.
Yeah.
The whole day, and it like usual Yuri mentality would be like, no, like go back into the room and like get clips. Like I was kind of like, there was a couple moments where I was beating myself up, thinking like I need to get clip scheduled, I need to make thumbnails, I need to do this, I need to do that.
So lazy.
But
I literally could not.
But then also I was like reminding myself, I was like, dude, like this is Saturday. Like I gotta take at least like, I've never taken this shit seriously because it always sounded like kind of corny to me a little bit to be like, you know, like it's not to say I don't take mental health seriously, but for me it's always been like kind of like you can tough your way through anything. You know what I mean? Like mental health for me has always been like, oh, you're sad or you're kind of not feeling great for moments, but it'll go away sooner or later. But recently, like I have been kind of like feeling this thing where I'm just like, I don't know, like kind of like hella pressure almost. You know what I mean? Like where I'm just like, fuck, dude, like I need to, you know, make good content. I don't want to just stream just fucking doing the same thing all over again. Like I want to provide stuff that people are hyped about, and like I want it to be good, and it, like I want to be on, like there's so many things like where it just like kind of like been weighing me down, and then like it kind of felt good just to be like, yesterday we decided in the morning we're like, we're just gonna chill here all day, and I was just like, you know what, like let's do it. And then like it felt so good, just spent the whole day doing nothing, and I was just like, oh my god, yes, like
just
it felt good. I don't know.
Vacation for your brain.
Yeah,
I feel that. Like I told you.
That's what it really is. Yeah.
Like I always feel just constant pressure of like,
mm-hmm.
just not being good enough or not being enough or like needing to do more and be better and like entertain people more. Like I don't know. Like I just like I feel like I'm very hard on myself, and it's only getting like worse with like the more people who watch us. And
well, the more people who watch, the more people who are going to be angry and hating and all that stuff. But
it's not an easy thing to do on the internet.
But
especially with me before, because I never had done internet shit.
Yeah.
Like you have been doing this stuff, like trying to do this stuff for a while and been around it.
Yeah.
For years, and you've been living in LA. Like this shit is hella new to me.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it is like a mental break where it's just like, even if you were to go on a physical vacation, like Rylee and I were to go take a trip out of town or something, you'd have to be worried about driving, you know, gas, paying for this, blah blah. There's all these like other mental things you gotta take care of. But to really just sit there and just turn your brain off for like a full 10-15 hours, it was just like, oh man, it was so chill. We watched some weird musical.
It was a good musical.
what was it called?
In the Heights.
In the Heights. Yeah, we watched the In the Heights musical. What do you say? You've been shaking your ass for half of the heights.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because that was our line.
I know, but you're looking at me like I'm doing that.
Oh my god, really? Because I was trying to remember. That's
anyways, well, I've been wanting to watch this musical movie because
you never seen it?
I never seen it, and I remember when the trailer was coming out, I was like super hyped for it, and I'm pretty sure it came out like, I think it came out later than 2020 because of all the movie dates.
I was gonna ask. I was like, did this movie come out? Because it seems like.
Remember when like when the pandemic hit and then all the movies were delayed, like they couldn't get shown because
that was one of them.
I'm pretty sure that was one of them. So now it's on HBO, and I was like, fuck it. I was like, I know Yuri's gonna be so annoyed, but I'm not even gonna tell him like what this is until
that shit was confusing.
Until they start singing, and then of course, as soon as they start singing, Yuri's like, really? And I was like, I'm watching it, but then you kind of like I knew you were gonna like kind of like dwindle off and do your own thing, but I could tell like you would kind of pay attention a little bit.
Well, it
is interesting.
I was listening the whole time. I know what the hell happened, you know, throughout the whole story, but it was interesting because in the beginning, it was showing this New York like tough Hispanic dude, and he was just like, he kind of looked serious and like, you know, and all this stuff, and then next thing you know, he's like like running around dancing and singing. I'm like, babe, really? Like this is what we're watching right now? But then it got, you know, better and better. It's so like
it's actually like it's from Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's like known for making really good musicals. He did Hamilton, which is like very well respected. Everybody talks about Hamilton. He did a couple other things.
I was honestly thinking how complicated it must be to like write the script or direct it or whatever, not direct it, but like just invent the fucking actual idea.
The
like
idea,
that shit
the
is
concept.
that shit is like, I was like watching it, I was like, okay, a movie, you know, I'm like, dude walks into a bar, blah blah, all this stuff, but these fools are like dancing in, switching lines, and like their lines rhyme the whole time. I was like,
they're rapping.
I'm like,
they're not
damn,
even just
bro.
singing,
Yeah, they're rapping too, and they're like, and I was like thinking, like, not only are you writing a storyline that, you know, storylines have to be good and interesting and captivating too, but you're adding like music, and then like scene switch. Like it was like, I was like, bro, I can't imagine being the dude who's like, oh, here's my script. You know, this is what we're gonna do. Like you'd have to have a lot of confidence.
A lot of the time, the music is corny in a lot of the musicals, and it's like super basic, whatever. But his shit is actually kind of smart and like.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's very storytelling, and, like, I don't know. He writes really well. He actually wrote... I'm pretty sure he wrote the music for Encanto.
Oh, really?
And he did, like, a bunch of different Disney movies, too, but he's really good at it. And I really liked it. It was a good watch. Shots? Oh, I didn't even realize you poured it.
I poured these, like, I forgot, like, 2-3 minutes ago. All right, cheers to watching musicals together.
Cheers. I want you to see a real one.
I did.
If that was impressive,
I saw the color purple.
You should see one on the stage. Okay, a different one. I've never seen the color purple. It was a musical.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I think that was the musical. It was like a school thing, and I don't know, dude. I would not have gone if I did not have to. So I definitely did not want to go, but it was a thing where we actually went to like a fucking what's it called? A place on Hollywood Boulevard where they do those plays and shit, and we like sat down and watched it, and I was just like, it was like a weird experience. It was actually cool though. Like at first, like cool, right? I don't know, like whenever I see clips of plays, you just see clips, so you're not invested, you're not submerged,
and it doesn't look cool.
It just looks like you know, like weird stuff.
You
but
have to be there.
As I was sitting there, like you get to know the storyline and all that stuff. It was interesting for me, but I never, you know, did it again.
And the actors are always really good. Like in professional actors are so good, and it's, I mean. I don't even know how to explain it. It's amazing.
Rylee was telling me that they're gonna bring
Mean Girls.
No, what's the other one? The South Park one?
Oh, Book of Mormon.
Rylee said they're gonna bring Book of Mormon back.
I watched that too, and it's a very simple set. Like it's simple. Like it's not very like captivating. Like Wicked. When I watched that, they had hella technical shit. Like the witch comes in a bubble.
Oh
and,
wow!
Like it's
expensive
a lot.
Shit.
It's a lot of special effects, which is really cool. But this one's like simple, but it's hella funny. It has the South Park humor.
And you know what's funny?
And I feel like you'll really like it.
Of course, I'll like it because I know their humor.
So
I've
seen a couple. Go watch that.
I basically know the gist of the play or whatever because I've like watched stuff about it. But I remember I forgot who it was, but someone said they were like that form of comedy is dead because of woke people and ultra sensitive people nowadays. Like you can't be making those types of jokes anymore. And I remember I forgot who said it, but someone said like you can't watch something. What's it called again? That play.
Which one?
By South Park.
The Book of Mormon.
Yeah. There's the dude said you can't do the Book of Mormon anymore because too many people would be offended. So I'm glad they're still doing this shit to give you a giant FU to all the ultra sensitive dumbasses who can't take a fucking joke and can't understand this is a person's humor. Oh, I don't like what they're saying. Let me just not listen.
When I watched it, because I watched it my senior year in high school, and our theater club. We always went, like every year we would take a trip to go watch a play or whatever in San Francisco. But this show, my teacher was like, you guys have to watch it. He had already seen it, but he couldn't come with us. So it was like
so you guys went by yourselves?
We went by ourselves and took like the BART and stuff.
Wow.
But my dad was like, he was our chaperone because we had to have the teacher. And my dad was. How
old were you guys? Oh, senior year, so 18, 17,
but like
18.
we had like every like class with us. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think we had like a couple freshmen with us. But when I mean, he had shown us clips of some of the songs, and I was like, this is gonna be funny. And when I went and I sat down and I watched it, I was like, oh my god, this is hella dirty. Like, this is crazy. I did not expect it to be like that
dirty?
wild. Yes.
Like sexy?
No, it was just like crazy. Like they were talking about fucking frogs and
yeah. No, it's funny. It basically like it
I
kind of.
didn't expect it to be that crazy.
It's supposed to point out the stupidity in all
Of
religions,
Mormonism.
not just Mormonism, but actually mainly Mormonism, but also a lot of religions where it's just like the way I've seen a couple of the jokes of the way they depict it. It's just kind of
It's
like
actually about
believing in bullshit.
It's about like a group of missionaries
Mhm.
who go or who gets or oh yeah. So everybody gets selected to go to like their certain either state or country.
Where do they go?
What?
Where do they get sent?
They go to Uganda.
Yeah.
And they have to spread the word of Jesus Christ or Latter-day Saints or whatever.
Oh my god.
And pretty much to get their story recognized, this guy, one of the Mormon missionaries, I guess,
Mhm.
he just like makes this crazy story up to make these people like get along with him and want to join his religion, and it's hella funny.
But
He makes a crazy ass story.
but I don't think he's making up a story. I think that's actually the Book of Mormon, of what they how they preach
he
it.
exaggerates it. Like that's his character. He's known for exaggerating things and lying.
Okay. How long is it?
It's
Pause.
like 2 hours.
Like 2 hours?
Mhm.
You know what's crazy is I'm not sure if I ever told this story, but when it was my very first day in high school, after I graduated middle school, I was entering 9th grade. It was my very first day in high school, and one of my classes was PE. And in our PE class, there was this like giant stair set that goes from the ground level, and you have to take this like 3 or 4 level stair set down to this like basement locker room. That's where all the dudes get changed and shit. And we're all down there. We get to the bottom door and the door is locked. So there's like probably 30, 40, 50 of us boys just like standing in front of this door waiting for the PE coach to go around and unlock it or whatever. So we're all just standing there, and I'm talking to my homie when we both skate and shit, and we're talking about a skate spot, and we're talking about a ledge, and I'm just like, oh, no way, like you skated, blah, blah. And I go, how long was it? Or like I go, how long is it? And then everyone just kind of turns their head, goes, oh, Yuri's gay, how long is it, blah, blah, all this stuff. And I was just like, bruh. It was kind of like embarrassing for me. Now I would not have cared. Now I'd be like, yo, suck an ass. Like, you know, if you can't understand what the hell I was saying. But when that was my first day in high school, I was so embarrassed, dude. I was like, oh no, I said, how long is it? How stupid. Blah, blah.
High school is torturous, dude.
Bro, for
I
real.
wish I could like remember. Oh my god, I'm sure there's so many cringe moments in high school
Bro.
that I could tell stories about, but I literally can't just pick my memory like that. I need like a friend to like
Really? You know what's funny is I have this
give me those memories back.
I had this homie named, well, you know what's funny is like he was a homie, but he kind of started off as a bully. Kind of a lot of relationships I had in school, but there was a dude named Kyle, and he was this like fucking giant black dude, really, and he was
Really not.
and he started off as like kind of like my bully in the beginning. And I remember one of the things that he did to me was like such a typical like nerdy movie type thing where, and I wasn't even a nerd. I was just like the stoner kid who was interested in my interests. I was not doing good in school. I got kicked out of school. I was ditching all the time, taking ecstasy, smoking weed, all that stuff. Anyways, one day I'm walking through school and I had this book, and I forgot the name of this book, but I was reading this book about a lesbian girl.
Of course.
But it's not a sex book. It's not like, oh, we're licking each other's pussies. It's about a book about a girl who discovers she's lesbian and her friends treat her differently or some shit like that. What really? People are gonna call me Mr. Unprogressive, Mr. Right Wing, and shit like that, even though I'm not. And here I am reading a lesbian book in 11th grade, or I mean in 10th grade.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was reading this book, and then fucking one day I'm like walking through class, and this fool Kyle just goes, "Hey, what are you doing, Yuri? What is this? What are you reading?"
Oh.
And he goes, "Oh, a book about lesbos? Oh, you fucking simp!" And just fucking like throws it or some shit like that. And I was like, I forgot what it was, but he just got like, he started roasting me because I was reading a book about lesbians, and I was just like, God damn it, dude. But after that, me and him became friends, and we smoked weed and chilled together. But in the beginning, he just didn't understand what I was about. He thought I was just some nerd.
You would never see me be friends with my bullies.
Wait, what?
I said you would never see me be friends with my bullies. Once you're fucking rude to me, I can't.
No, that's no. You see, you gotta. You gotta.
I've tried.
No.
I have tried
That's
to forgive.
That's dude.
And I always end up disappointed.
But I'm scared that that's the philosophy that leads into cancel culture. A person I don't agree with who's wrong with me, fuck them forever. It's like, no, this dude was an asshole to me. He was weird. But then we found a common ground and we treated each other with respect.
That's not
And then it
true.
got to a point where it's like, bro, if someone was bullying me, he would probably fuck them up, you know,
I'm
just
not
because we were that
saying-
good of friends.
I'm not saying somebody who I'm like I see differences in and like
Yeah.
we like don't agree on something. It's like if somebody's like literally just being a bitch to you and like is just a rude bitch, I'm not gonna be your friend after. Like you've always.
I wouldn't go
like,
out of my way to.
I would like when I was in school. Like I had my circle and like that was it. Like I had a little tiny circle. I didn't want to be close with a lot of other people because I'm just not like that. Like I was cool with everybody, but like I only wanted to be with like my best friends, you know.
Really?
Like did you have that? Like did you have like your like close like 3 friends?
Yeah.
Cuz that's how I was. Like I had like close like 3-4 friends.
I had
that's who I would hang out with at lunch
but
I'd
also,
be cool with everybody. Like
I was going to say, but also it's like I'd have my close friend group, but then also like I would have like different friend groups that didn't know of one another, and we would be like, I would be like hanging out with them and doing random shit with them and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I would be interested in different things, and I would have.
You
my
see,
friends
this is why I know it's a long thing. It's a lot to ask you, but because it's so much to watch. But I'd be willing to watch it with you because I love it so much. But that's why we should watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh Lord.
Because the Avatar: The Last Airbender, the whole series, it talks about this one dude. I forgot his name already. This one dude who's like the evil man who wants to kill everyone and do all this crazy stuff. He's like super evil, unforgivably evil. You know what I mean? Like worse than Trump or some shit like that. And they spend all these series talking about him, hyping him up. He pops up a couple times, but you never really get to face him. And then towards the end of the Avatar: The Last Airbender series, he faces him, defeats him, has a chance to kill him, and instead of killing him, takes away his powers. So it's just like, you don't gotta kill the people. You don't gotta cancel them. You could just, you know.
Who said anything about canceling or killing anybody?
You're saying I don't ever deal with them ever for the rest of my life. It's like that doesn't mean you have to try to be their friend, but just understand that if they ever come around, and if they don't treat them any differently. You know,
if
like
they came around and apologized for their wrongdoing, then for sure.
But they never did.
No.
No.
Girls are different.
I was gonna say girls. But I don't know how me and this like you see like with me and my bullies or whatever in like middle school and high school, it was like a respect thing where it's just like, you know, one day this dude punched me in the face, or one day this fool fucking yelled back at me, or one day like I saw him fighting another person, and then you just gain their respect where you're like, oh okay, this ain't just some bitch, you know, or whatever.
I think I'm just the type of person that doesn't like to let a lot of people in. Like I'm just that type of person where I'm like, I'd rather have a couple great friends that I do everything with and like be cool with a lot of people. Like I was always social and outgoing, but like I would only get really close with like my friends, like my good friends.
I feel like I try to be open with everyone and tell them all my secrets immediately.
So yeah,
I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
No,
but I feel like I was pretty open and I tried to be. But for example, Trevor was like, oh man, he's like, the first month I met you, you're asking me for advice on whether to move in with your girlfriend or not. No,
yeah, you're open. I'm not like that. Like when at work, it takes me like a good couple months to warm up to people. Like remember when I started at the salon and I was like, I think everybody hates me like the first 3 months.
No, and I was telling you, I was like, dude, jobs are always like that.
And then I ended up being really good friends with everybody.
And now you miss it.
Yeah,
even,
exactly.
You know?
So it's like,
but
I am just like that type of person where it takes me a long time to warm up. Like,
but also advice to anyone out there who's like younger, who hasn't had a job yet. Guys, every single job I've had, the first 2-3 months, you feel like
you hate it.
You feel like an idiot. You hate it. You don't.
Everybody hates you.
Yeah, it feels like everyone hates you. It feels like it's not worth it. It feels like it's not gonna go anywhere. But guys, every new job, give it like at least 3 months of actual good effort. And if at that point you're like, nah, it's still continuing to be ass, like then go out. But then usually by that 2-3 month point, you've already like cross those hurdles of like, you know, the new adjustments, the new people and all that stuff, and it gets easier. But I've noticed that trend with every new job I've had, like it's kind of ass for the first 2-3 months where you think like, I'm leaving, I'm quitting, you know, this is not worth it. I remember doing a couple of jobs, I'd be calling my mom on my lunch break like, Mom, I'm not doing this, it's over, blah blah, and my mom would be telling me what I was telling you. She's like, Yuri, relax, like just, you know, just give it a month or two and everything will get easier, you'll be doing it like the back of your hand, blah blah. And like, and you know, she was right. It's like, you just take your time.
Dude, when I moved to San Diego, right after beauty school, I moved to San Diego. I was living with my tia, and I was going to work, and I knew nobody in San Diego. I had my best friend, thank God, was going to San Diego State at the time, and that was all I had in my tia. But I knew nobody whatsoever, and all I had was work because I was just working full time. Like my friend who was going to San Diego State had school and shit. Like it was like she was living a different lifestyle than I was, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I remember like every day I was like, I do not fit in with this crowd. Like San Diego is so much different from the Bay. And like I'd be crying. Like I'd be working all day and I'd be crying. And like I remember one day I like sat with like my two like new hire mentors, like the people who like help you when you're a new hire. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what's wrong, Rylee? Like, we see, like, you're just so upset all the time. Like, do you think you're too Bay Area?
Oh.
And I was like, what?
That's fucked up.
I know. I was like, what does that even mean?
Do you know what made me feel better, though?
I was like, kinda.
I want to listen to Mac Dre. You guys just bump Justin Bieber the whole time.
You're just bumping EDM. You're just bumping Odessa.
But, you know what I was going to say is also, you know what made me feel better is I remember my mom, she's been working at the same place for a while now, but I remember she told me that they got a new employee, this like Filipino girl, and she told me that like the first week of this girl's employment, my mom like walked into her office and she was like, hey, I forgot, I don't even know her name, but she was just like, hey, like, blah, blah, where are you? Blah, blah, where are you? And she found her curled up in a fetal position under her desk crying. She's like, I went into her office and she was under her desk holding her knees crying, and my mom was like, what's wrong? And
your mom's the perfect
she was
person.
saying like, oh, it's just like the job is too tough, and my mom like helped me talk her through it, and I was like, I'm not the only one. Like people get that same, like I felt like doing that sometimes, just being like, fuck this shit.
That's
dude.
what I was gonna say too. Like after like that situation, because assisting is the hardest job in the world. Assisting for a hairstylist, like especially really successful like 6-figure hairstylist, is the hardest job. You're like dealing with the highest end clients. Mm-hmm. I never had like this kind of experience, and you're on your feet all day. I would text my Thea like, I hate this, like I think I'm going back home, I don't want to do it. And the same thing, she's like, just give it a couple more days, like you just started.
Yeah. And
I ended up loving it, and
but then
meeting
also
really cool people.
You know what I also kind of...
But fuck the management. I hated that shit.
Okay, that's the thing, though. That contradicts what I was going to say, though, is like, if the management is fucked and the work politics are too fucked, leave. But also, a mentality I've learned, usually when you're like entering the job market, you just want a job. You know what I mean? Just to kind of like provide some money for the weekend or save some money or whatever it is. And if you find a job where they take you, and like it seems like, you know, they might not like you or it seems kind of weird, just hold the job until they fire you. You know what I mean? Like, and then honestly, if you do that, you realize like, oh shit, I've been here for 2 years already. You know what I mean? Like time will just fly by. Like you'll feel like, oh, they're gonna get rid of me any moment, but just keep coming in on time, keep doing your job, and there's gonna be no reason to get rid of you. And then you're just like gonna have that constant paycheck.
But if your boss is a dick, don't do it.
A random, you know what's funny though? 2 random thoughts. Number 1 is, imagine you're my new employee. Imagine you're Trevor, right? You're my new coworker. Okay. And then I come into work one day. I barely know you. I've only met you 4 or 5 times. So I'm just like, hey man, I've been with this girl for like 3-4 months, and I really love her, and I think she really loves me, and I think it's a good thing, and I think we're gonna get a place together. I know people don't recommend it, you know, that you get a place with a, you know, a new girlfriend or whatever it is, especially your first girlfriend, but I think we're gonna do it. And Trevor's just like,
what?
Yeah, like what? That's literally that's what I put Trevor through.
There's people like that in every workplace. Like when I started, there would be people who were super open with me, and I was like hella quiet, and they'd just be telling me hella shit, and I'd just be, and like that makes you even more comfortable. Like that makes you feel more comfortable with working in that place, because you're like, oh, this person feels this comfortable to open up to me like this. Like that's really cool.
No,
like
yeah,
now
exactly.
I feel more comfortable where I could open up to you back, you know?
Trevor hasn't
because a lot of people are cold when you're first working places. Like when Trevor's I first started here, remember when I was working at the Brentwood salon?
Oh, yes.
And I was crying too. I was like, these bitches hate me.
Yeah,
like, this is
I forgot about that. You worked at a different salon first.
It was the same situation, but it was like, I don't think that was ever going to work. I definitely found a better salon after that. But
I don't even remember. Why'd you end up leaving? Because it was too far or something like that? You worked at a different salon?
No, remember? It had just started where salons could be back open.
Yes.
And it was like a couple weeks. We had just moved into our new place.
And we're so excited because Riley's like, yes, I don't have to be at home all day. I can work.
And then the shutdown happened again. And then once it picked back, I never heard back from them. And then I texted my boss at the time and I was like, hi, like any updates? And she's like, oh, like since our salon's so small, we're only able to work at 50% capacity. So we don't need your help anymore. And I was just like,
oh, thanks for the update.
It was never going to work. Anyway, that was actually not a good salon.
I was kidding. Trevor's not cold. I don't feel like he's opened up to me like the way I did to him.
I think you guys both have opened up to each other.
Anyways, guys, we're like an hour into this, and usually around this time we open up the PO box entries. But guys, this Friday, Rylee was sick. I was in the middle of the listening to music stream, so I didn't have a chance to do it. And usually sometimes Rylee can like sneak away and do it or whatever. We were not able to check the PO box this Friday. So super sorry to anyone that has sent us anything over. We're not going to do any open PO box openings this week, but next Sunday we'll get into it. I didn't have a chance to get to the PO box, but random topic I have that I feel like Rylee should have some things to say about. Then, but also
Thanks.
We've talked about this before on Tik Toks, and I'm going to say the same thing I've said before. And I think the last time we talked about this was when we were in the last apartment over a year ago. But true crime content is being called out now, and I think
by Philly D.
Not by Philly D, but he's talking about the news how like people are calling him out. Basically, some true crime a documentary came out called Why We Love Pam, something with Pam or whatever, and it was about this lady who murdered a woman who was like dying of cancer, and the lady's daughter came out and she was like, hey, this is fucked up. Like, you guys are portraying this movie in such a funny, satirical manner when this is like my mom. She just died. The court case isn't even done. Pam's not even in jail. I'm still suffering with my mom's loss. And you guys are making this whole documentary about this. And I brought this up before.
No, it wasn't even a documentary. It was it's just a series. A series,
sorry. Yeah, it's like a series. But I brought this up before where like Rylee stopped watching this, but when Rylee and I first got together, sometimes I'd be like walking past her and she's watching YouTube videos of girls who are doing makeup tutorials.
This is one girl. It's one girl that did this.
Okay. But that one girl who did this, she was doing a makeup tutorial plus a true crime story. So while she's like, all right, girls, this is how you put on pink blush, blah, blah, blah. And then also,
she's not doing that,
looks like Frederick's daughter was fucking bludgeoned to death by a machete. And then you take the sparkles, put the sparkles right there. And then the blood was all over the room. And like, it was like, as I was watching it, I was like, dude, this is kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing a true crime thing about something that happened 100, 200 years ago, so be it. You know what I mean? None of those people are really around to be upset anymore. But a lot of there's so many true crime channels. Let me get this out first. There's so many true crime channels now that they've already done every story that's over 100 years old. Now they're moving on to stories that are 50 years old, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 2 years old. This just happened. We're going to talk about it. And now I kind of agree with the fact that it's fucked up. Like, unless you're doing it like Kendall Ray, where she's reaching out to the family members and being a part of the process. Like, if you're just talking about it just because you know you're gonna get a million views, it's fucked up. I think that
Kendall Ray definitely does her like work to she goes with she literally does stories with families, puts them on her podcast and her YouTube channel,
donates the money to them.
Donates the money. She does a lot, like her merch. She donates a lot of the money to different organizations that actually. She does her research. Like, I trust her as a person. Yeah. And I don't watch a lot of. That's the only really true crime girl I watch. Ray, yeah. But the other girl that you're talking about, who I would like throw on time to time, I'm pretty sure, I don't know exactly the years of her like the true crime shit she was talking about, but I know a lot of her stuff that I was watching was like old stuff. But I didn't really understand like where you're like, this is kind of insensitive until you said something. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is kind of a little weird.
Because I'm just thinking like...
But she wasn't doing tutorials. She wasn't saying like, this is how you put your eyebrows on. Like, I just flick it like this. And also he got chopped in the fucking dick. And da-da-da-da.
That's what it looked like.
She was doing her makeup and telling the story at the same time.
But wasn't talking about her makeup.
But she's not talking about her makeup.
But she is doing her makeup.
She's doing her makeup. And I understand where that could be disrespectful. Yeah. And I also see where... these different networks like Hulu and Netflix are picking up these different true crime stories and making their own interpretations of that. Yeah. How that could get disrespectful to the families if they're not like
making them a part of the process.
Exactly,
Yeah.
very well involved.
Exactly.
Like the one that we watched, the girl from Plainville, like that whole series was to like show how the girl that was talking to that guy trying to commit suicide, like how she was like crazy too, and like trying to get you to side with her a little bit.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
that, and like we can't understand how his family probably feels about this situation.
And they had his whole family portrayed in the show. His grandpa, his dad, his stepmom. I mean, his like his mom, all that stuff or whatever. So it's just like, I don't know. Like I feel like it's weird. No one, they're not gonna stop doing it. They're gonna continue doing it. But then also, it's like I'm thinking from the perspective of a potential family member. If I saw that was my brother that you're talking about, and I'm like, oh, Bobby Alumbayev death. Let me click on this, and I just see some girl fucking putting on blush talking about his murder. I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Get this shit out of here. Like, fuck this girl, dude. I'd be so pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
So it is kind of weird. But then also in that Pam specific thing, Phil DeFranco.
But that's what he's mostly talking about.
Yeah, but he said in that one, the girl she's actually featured in the series where they have her talking and all that stuff. But she said that when they brought her in for the interview, they were saying it's gonna be a documentary. And then she's like, okay. And then later on, she said that she saw a trailer with like actors and all that stuff, and she was like, what is this shit? You know what I mean?
Which I feel like isn't that should be like illegal? Like you can't tell.
Yeah.
That person, this is going to be a documentary series on your mother's murder, and then it's actually a fictional
but that's
or like just like an interpretation of it. Like you can't do that.
And that's why this is something I always talk about. Like even if you seem like an idiot at the end of the day, look at what you're reading and like really form your own interpretation, because they probably handed her some sort of paperwork that says we're buying the rights to your mom's story for this thing. And then she, in her mind, she didn't think too much of it, but in the perspective of like, you know, a legal circumstance where you don't have any emotions behind it, you're like, no, I'm not going to give you my mom's story, dude. Like, unless I have 80% fucking take, you know what I mean? Like 90% take. It's like, that's my mom's story, dude. Get the fuck out of here. But
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
pee really quick.
Okay.
Can you bring in the next story?
What the fuck?
Talk to the chat for a second.
Okay, I had all these topics pulled up, but they all disappeared randomly. All right, I will bring up the chat though. Anyways, is the video good? Yes, we recorded. Everything's fine. For the audio listeners, Rylee went to the restroom, and I'm opening up the chat to see what the hell everyone's saying. Scammonia. So I'm going to talk about that as well. T-shirt size, Yuri. This is a large. This is a large T-shirt. Also, by the way, guys, 10 Talks T-shirts. I've had a couple people DM me today after I made that post yesterday, and I realized that not everyone's going to see, you know, what you talk about or post about on social media and shit. So for everyone that hasn't heard about this, just a reminder to everyone, the 10 Talk shirts are available indefinitely on the website, 10talksla.com. You guys can go to the website and purchase yourself a T-shirt, you know, sizes small through triple XL. Basically, yeah, guys, like the T-shirts are available indefinitely from now on. For anyone that had ordered them already, we should be getting that order. I think they said on like Tuesday or Wednesday or some shit like that. So once we get that, I will be sending it out, or we'll be sending it out like the next day. So this week, all the orders are going to be going out. Beans is XL. No, speaking of Beans, oh yeah, he's downstairs. What's Riley's T-shirt size? I think she wears a medium. I'll ask her. I'll double check with her, but I'm pretty sure it's a medium. I really like these T-shirts though. Very comfortable. There's a lot of T-shirts, guys. I've wore so many fucking T-shirts at this point, and there's a lot of T-shirts where it just the sewing on the middle, it feels like hella thick and like bulgy, or it just feels uncomfortable. This is honestly a comfortable T-shirt, and you know, it's up to you guys. It's subjective if you guys fuck with the graphic or not. But anyways, hey man, been clipping away. Also, guys, huge shout out to Wyan Nate, or Nate in the chat. His name in the chat though is Wyan Nate. He's the person who's been editing and helping me clip up all the clips that we've been posting on Harmonious Man Clips, and then also he's been making some TikTok edits and reel edits that I have not posted yet. But I want to give a huge shout out to him because he's been helping tremendously. And honestly, like, I can see if we continue on this daily, even though I already kind of messed up the past 3 days, if we get on this daily posting grind and continue it could definitely fucking help grow the channel like crazy. And I'm super appreciative to YN8 because he's been helping a lot. But then also that brings me to another topic, guys. I couldn't find the video to bring the statistics or write down the statistics or whatever from the video that I watched, but Phil DeFranco was talking about Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and like other social media platforms and talking about the usage and the growing or the dying of usage. And guys, Facebook is dying like crazy right now because, you know, we all know Facebook to be like a platform for, you know, our parents and grandpas and shit like that. But along with Facebook, Instagram is dying like crazy. I didn't even know this, but Instagram is losing like a huge, I forgot what, this is where I wish I wrote down the numbers, but Instagram is losing a huge amount of numbers of people every single month, just like Facebook is. And with the numbers and the statistics that Phil DeFranco is bringing up, it basically, we would be stupid not to post on TikTok. So guys, I wanted to do it before we got on the live show so I can tell you guys my TikTok, but I don't remember it. But either way, today, after the show, I will be finding the login info for my old TikTok because I've posted like 3-4 things already when Rylee went to San Diego and all that stuff. But I will be getting back on my TikTok grind. And honestly, I'm going to be treating it or trying to treat it or getting used to treating it like a daily social media thing like Instagram for myself. I've never done it, never wanted to do it. But at this point, as a content creator, I'm like, bro, we have to do it because it's going to help a lot. And Riley's been saying she wants to do it too.
Yeah. I'm ready.
You said you want to do dances and stuff.
No, I didn't. I said that we need to do like funny TikToks together.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you and I can make really good TikToks, but we just have to. I need to learn the app, which
we both do.
I have been like kind of watching it, and like, it's just so much. It's so many trends to keep up.
Shout
with.
to Spliff Mo Giselle. There's the TikTok right there. That's my TikTok. We've posted a couple things there. And
yes.
I want to continue to post more and more stuff. All the clips that we post on the Clips channel, I want to post short versions on TikTok and shit as well. Get on the reels. It's just like, dude, I don't know. It's like I want to get even more and more consistent. It's so hard because coming from, you know, No Jumper, you just see the amount of people that are there to help on a YouTube channel, and it's like one YouTube channel, but you have a person for every little thing, you know, that happens, like thumbnails, timestamps, clips, who uploads the clips, who makes them public. It's like everything's all fucking, you know, divvied up, and like it's such a fluid process. But for us, just as a 2-person group working on this channel, it is really hard. Now that's why, like, bro, for any YouTubers out there that are on this like consistent basis, posting like daily shit and just almost operating like a company when it's just one or two people,
yeah,
it's like, bro, huge props because it's fucking hard, bro.
It is.
We will, you know.
And shout out to Yuriy because he does everything.
Well,
I'm pretty much useless when it comes to all this internet shit.
Oh my god, really? No.
And he does it all, so he deserves all the congrats.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think
yeah, shut up.
Another half shot?
Sure.
That was one of my topics, though, getting back on TikTok. The other...
TikTok, let's go.
Oh, my God. Oh, yes. Are you going to be making your own TikTok?
I have one.
You do?
Yes, that's why I send you TikToks.
Have you posted anything?
No.
I didn't know you had your own TikTok.
I've been had my own TikTok.
What is it? Shout
I'm pretty
it
sure
out.
it's
What
Rylee
is it?
G. I think it's Rylee G. Riley's useless exposed. It's not exposed, it's true.
No, it's not. I never.
It's Rylee G. I have 92 followers.
Hey, let's go.
Shout out to my 92 followers.
It's Rylee G.
My shit's mostly just workout shit and makeup and Kardashian.
And dude, honestly,
tutorials or Kardashian funny shit.
Another one of the reasons why I want to take other platforms so seriously is because like it's dangerous just to put all your faith into one platform. Like I think I showed you this dude I found on Instagram where he's popping on TikTok, but all his stuff, I think he reposts his stuff on TikTok, or other people steal his shit and repost on TikTok. But it's a skateboarder guy who goes around from like Mexico to Colombia. He basically goes around all over the world, and he does like cool, interesting stuff, almost like Harold Balder type shit, but like for a TikTok. Well, he'll go find some, homemade beer or like homemade vodka, and he'll go chill with some people and drink, but he'll make TikTok videos of it. And he was super poppin', super huge or whatever. And I forgot how many views he got on TikTok, like millions and millions of views. He's like very, very popular on TikTok. His Instagram, on the other hand, he has like 3,000 or 4,000 followers. His YouTube also like not as big because not as many people converge over. They just want to consume his TikTok content. But what's fucked up is I just saw that he today posted on Instagram, or yesterday, that he's been banned permanently off TikTok because he was in another country, forgot where, but they handed him a tea drink and he asked them, what's in this tea? And they said, blah, 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 this leaf, Ganja. And they, because of the word,
you can't say,
because of the word
ganja,
you can't even, he's not even smoking, you can't see weed, you can't, nothing. Someone hands him a tea and he asks what's in it, they say ganja, and that word ganja got him permanently banned off TikTok. Isn't that crazy?
People will do like, the way people will do weed is like W with three
oh yeah
D, and then it has like a little plant next to it, or like it'll just be like when I like with a plant and like the smoke emoji to like get around it.
Isn't that crazy though? They take it super seriously.
Yeah, there's so much things you can't do or say,
bro, just because of the word ganja, which is like, that's insane to me.
You have to say segs.
Oh yes, you're right. I didn't even notice that until you said it to me, but I noticed that they always say segs, and I was like, is that a meme? Like, is that just like a funny thing? Like, no, they just say segs instead of sex. Interesting. I had sex with my stepsister, blah blah, whatever. Wow.
You know, there's like a funny TikTok meme where it's like when the Tito starts to turn into, and like it's like whatever to your guy. It's like when the alcohol hits you and it starts to be like, and then it's supposed to be like a relatable thing where it's like when you're drunk and how you act towards your guy.
Oh my god.
Like people will be like when the Tito hits and I'll just be dying.
So what would yours be?
I don't know, but I'm like, I have to do one like that.
What would the Titos turn into?
I don't know.
I'm scared to know too. God, you're gonna expose me. All right, guys. Half shot for halfway through the show. Let's go. Cheers, guys. Shout out to everyone watching. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to all the fucking supporters. Shout out to everyone who leaves comments. And honestly, guys, it's like, also, for anyone that disagrees with anything that I say specifically and Rylee says or whatever it is or we say, it's like, what I really appreciate is the people on my Instagram who DM me going like, yo, bro, I disagree with this, blah, blah, and we'll have back and forths. But then at the end of the day, we're still like, yo, you know, we fuck with each other. Like, it's still chill. And that's what I want to promote is like the idea of having conversations without going like, you believe in this, I hate you. It's like, no, dude.
No,
it's
I
like,
love the comments that are like, Yuri, Rylee, you brought this up at
exactly.
blah, blah, blah. And it's actually this, da, 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 da.
Exactly.
Like, much love the show, yada, yada, yada. Like, they still have respect, but like, they're also like, they want to show us the other side of things.
The only time I say to suck my ass is when you tell me not to wear Russian clothes.
You can't do that.
That's
bro.
crazy. Don't show that you're Russian. Cheers. Cheers to being Russian and Mexican.
Cheers to being Russian.
Oh, geez, sorry. All right, guys. This is something that I've talked about how Rylee and I should do it more, but we haven't done it in a while, which is actually bring stuff up on screen.
Yes.
And we have a couple things to talk about. The first thing is, we should have brought this up during the South Park conversation, actually. There is a teacher in Canada. And if you guys don't know the rules in Canada, Canada has very progressive rules. Let me just give you one example before we get into the story, which is if you're a parent in Canada and your 5-year-old child, let's say it's a boy, tells you, hey, father, I'm a girl now, refer to me as a ma'am, and you tell your 5-year-old child, sorry, child, you're 5 years old, I feel like you might not have, the greatest decision-making skills right now. You're still a boy, son. That 5-year-old boy can go to his school, complain to his counselors or teachers, and make you not, I forgot what the word is, but make you not his parent anymore. Basically, they can emancipate themselves from their parents if their parents don't want to identify them by their fucking sex that they choose, which is ridiculous. That conversation has been out for a long time about Canada, which is fucking insane to me. But speaking of Canada, there's a high school teacher in Canada where she's been getting a little bit of flack because she's been wearing, these aren't real, by the way, she's been wearing prosthetic breasts, and this is a trans, there's a man underneath, but he's dressing as a woman or whatever it is. Identifies as a woman, and he wears these giant plastic breasts to his classes as he's teaching kids. And guess what? I don't know exactly what he's teaching, but there's photos of him in wood shop. So I think he's a wood shop teacher on top of it. And some people are going to be like, "What's the problem? Let's be progressive, guys." Let me show you a photo of this teacher. This is him or her right here. Do you want your high school teacher having these things knocked against the back of their heads as she's walking fucking down the aisles? What the fuck, dude? Hell no, dude. And guess what? The high school has gone, the kids in her classes have been saying, we feel uncomfortable. We're looking at giant pepperoni nipples getting blasted and getting concussions from these giant 50-pound weight tits. We feel uncomfortable. The kids have been complaining about this. The high school says, no, fam. We're progressive over here. We support her. She can do whatever she wants. No, this is crazy. I'm going to say, I don't know how Rylee feels. This is crazy. This should not be allowed. I'm taking my kid out of that class immediately.
This is not fair for the girls out there who had been in or had like a
sorry guys.
Suspension or got dress coded for wearing spaghetti straps or too short a short.
For real. That's
I
true.
don't care because it's distracting.
No, I remember when
my shoulders are showing.
I remember when I was in school, girls weren't allowed to wear the strapless.
No,
what are they called?
You can't even wear a tube top.
The girls weren't allowed to wear tube tops.
A spaghetti strap. Like you had to wear like a.
Oh, because it's too thin.
You had to wear two. Like I think it was like 3 fingers
of a spaghetti
wide
strap.
of a strap.
Like a Timmy wife beater.
Exactly. But these giant titties are
That's
acceptable.
Fine, bro. It's like.
That's not okay.
And then also, guys, the photos of this person working in woodshop, they just seem dangerous. Let's take a look at this.
So close.
This is dangerous.
This has to be a troll.
She's gonna die, dude. Like, look at this. She's gonna get sucked into a blender or a fucking grinder or whatever. Look at that, bro.
The whole
bro,
bricked.
Look at this student in the back, desperately trying not to stare, dude, at those nips. He's like, what the? I've never seen such a thing.
That's distracting.
That's incredibly distracting.
He has a booty too.
They're not learning shit about wood, bro. The only word they're learning about is their own right now. They're like, oh, I'm bricked up out of nowhere right now.
I'm in woodshop bricked
up. This ain't good.
This is horrible.
Dude, they're either bricked up or fucking, like, completely confused. Okay, you know what? That's not fine. Dude, it's like, I don't care what people say, bro. That's not okay. Canada, you're insane. Ontario, Canada, you guys are insane for allowing this shit. I don't know how parents are okay with this. It's like, I would be like, hey, man, I can't take my kid to another school because the other school's so far away, and my kid needs these elective credits from this specific class to graduate. My kid ain't graduating. I'm going to just break it down like that and be like, my kid's getting a GED because of Mrs. Titty over there.
Oh, fuck.
Bro. That's crazy.
My mom would die if my little brother was like, this is my teacher.
Yo.
My mom would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, imagine like your little brother was like, hey,
teacher conference,
bruh,
because your kid's failing.
And she's just like, your kid has no respect.
I don't know why your kid's so distracted in class.
No, it would sound more like, your kid doesn't have any respect for women. I'm obviously a woman here. How does he not understand this?
We're canceled,
bruh. Anyways, that was one of the things we wanted to bring up. The other thing that we have to bring up as well is, dude. Okay, first off, I guess there's been some false reports. I'm not sure, but so there's this video of Post Malone performing, and I'm not sure if we could play the audio because you can hear probably we'll just not play the audio. But okay, we'll wait for this video to restart. But guys, basically, okay.
Oh, that hurt like a bitch.
Hold on, let's actually click away and let's re-click on it so we can restart the video. So Post Malone is performing, shaking some hands, haha, hoo hoo, you know, singing blah blah, and then boom, falls right on his ribs. And then instantly, I know how he feels because I've been winded before too. You know, we've all have. That shit sucks. And not only are you winded, you're winded in the middle of 50,000 fans. You're just like desperately trying to get.
Look at him kick,
bro. Have you been winded before?
Yes.
It's like, you know that feeling where you're just trying to like say one thing. And you can't. And you're just like, you feel like you're dying.
I was only winded when I was a kid.
Bro.
One time. And I can't even like experience, like I don't even I just remember
The last time I was winning was like 20.
Scared for my life. Like I didn't
Exactly.
think I couldn't get my
No, you feel like
breath.
you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's after you do it a couple times, you realize like I'm not gonna die. I'm just winded.
Exactly.
But it's just that feeling in the middle of being winded, and you're surrounded
all these
by
people.
50,000
Like
people
this.
just taking pictures. Post Malone, no,
The way trying to get you in your TikTok. Like,
bro. But then also, okay, I was
like, Posty, look.
I was reading through the comments, and a little bit of a controversy unfolded where in this angle it seemed like everyone reacted pretty quickly. They come to his aid, are you okay, blah blah. But then in this video, look, watch this. Oh no, what's going on, blah blah. How much time has passed? 10-15 seconds.
No, that's 3 seconds.
That was like 10 seconds.
It feels like 10 seconds. That's realistically 3
To
seconds.
him it was an
No,
hour.
Look back.
To him it was an hour. We can't go
Yeah,
back.
it feels like an hour to him.
But okay, it's basically
realistically, that's probably like 3.
basically
4
the
seconds.
first dude takes a while to come through, right? And then he does this thing where he's just like, oh,
Yeah.
are you okay,
Now
Post?
it's getting like 5,
Post,
6.
Post, you okay? It's like he's not really doing anything. This other dude
Yeah.
jumps on top, and then he just like
I think it was probably within like 10, 15 seconds.
I was reading through the comments, and people were saying like, oh, nice reaction time, security guards. It took you an hour to get there, blah blah. It did seem like it took a while, but then also, what are you gonna do?
Cause no, you
There's nothing
really
to do.
think that 30 seconds goes by like hella fast, but it's like it's like 1,
2,
2,
yeah,
3.
no, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
That's even fast.
No.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
no.
Yes, it is, dude.
That's how they get drunk people.
I'm gonna show you on the clock right now.
You wanna do it?
Yeah, look, watch.
Hold on, let's do a test.
Look.
Let's both of us try to keep track of time. Look, I have a timer.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on.
Stopwatch.
A stopwatch. Yes, 1 minute.
No, this one where you can see how fast a second goes.
No, this one. No, this one will.
Or how about we play the video and we see how
No,
fast it goes.
no.
That's what we should
Hold on.
do.
I want to challenge how drunk we are. That's the thing. We have 1 minute on the clock. I'm gonna press start, and we both count down
60?
to 60 and see who's closer.
Can we count to 60, not down?
Okay, whichever one you prefer. All right, you ready?
Yes.
3, 2. For
Okay.
audio listeners,
This is gonna be horrible.
Riley and I are drunk. We're gonna spend the next 1 minute
No.
trying to see who can.
This is what I'm saying. It should not be a minute. That's so
No, let's do it.
long.
I'm curious. Let's see. Let's see if we got pulled over right now. We're not driving drunk though.
Okay,
Come on.
Count to 60.
Yes. All right. You ready? 3, 2, 1. No looking though.
Okay.
You promise. 3, 2, 1. Start.
1, 2.
$52 Mississippi, $53 Mississippi, $54.
50.
A minute.
1 minute.
Wow, that's bull. You saw. You saw.
I
You
did not.
saw.
I swear to God, I did not.
Okay.
2
whatever.
seconds away.
Whatever.
I know.
It sounds like you gotta take another shot. It sounds like I'm
Hell
drunker than you
no.
are. That's what's going on here.
I told you. You think that 3 seconds is long, or 10 seconds is long. It's actually a lot slower than you think.
Okay. All right. Well, I was
Trust
like,
me, when you have to hold shit working out for
When
30 seconds, that shit feels hell long.
okay. So what happened right now is when I thought it was a minute, I looked at the clock. It was 4 seconds left. And then I didn't show the clock to Riley, and then Riley basically guessed exactly.
No, I didn't.
No, I pressed stop time
Oh.
before it hit stop time.
See, I didn't even see.
So Riley was basically right on the dot. Women are better with colors and time, apparently as well. But then also,
Because I'm the same. I used to be the same way. I used to be like 1, 2, 3, 4.
really. Did you ever watch Mansers?
No.
I think in an episode of Mansers, they explain why women have a worse sense of direction compared to men, and it's because men have there's a magnet in your fucking nose or your brain or some shit that tells you what direction is what direction, and we have our thing that is that magnet is larger than a girl's.
Well, I already know you have a horrible sense of time.
I think I say direction. Yeah, I do have a horrible sense of time.
You have a great sense of direction.
I feel like I do. I know.
I have a horrible sense of direction.
I know where I'm going most of the time.
And I will admit that.
All right. Last topic we have, as for not topic just in general, but the things we have to react to on screen is we talked about this last week. A video went viral.
I don't even think we talked about this.
We didn't?
You talked about this on Disconnected because this happened after Tik Toks.
Oh, it did?
You think Monday is the start of the new week and we do Tik Toks on Sunday,
yeah.
So then there's a whole week of information.
I thought we talked about this though. No, we did, because I asked you, I said, how would you react? And we said
this was after Monday. This was like on Tuesday. You asked me how I would react.
Okay. Well, anyways, I think it was, I don't know. Anyways,
it was posted 2 days ago.
No, but this is the update.
Yeah, and this was
the update took
like
a while
5 days
though.
Ago.
Anyways, guys, so the first story was a 12-year-old destroys a mom's home after the mom took the phone away as punishment. And Rylee and I, we watched the video, and this is not the.
Well, no. So I came home one night, and Yuri was like, "Hey, did you see this video of the kid destroying his mom's place?" And I was like, "No."
Oh yes, it was off stream.
Yeah, and I was like, "No," and then he was like, "You have to watch it," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch it right now," and then I was like, what? Like, I started laughing at first, and then he was like, no. He's like, it gets worse. You're probably going to cry. And I was like, why? And I just keep watching it, and I'm just like, oh, my gosh.
It gets so bad. Basically, this kid, the first video is titled, like I said, 12-year-old gets his phone taken away and destroys the house. Guys, the video is like this 2-bedroom apartment. The apartment has like these marble sinks. The marbles destroyed, broken. Every single TV in the house is destroyed and broken. Every mirror in the house is destroyed and broken. There's one toilet. They have 2 toilets. Both restrooms are destroyed. Every mirror is destroyed. The bathtub's destroyed. One of the toilets is destroyed. And then at the end of the video, the woman starts crying. Oh, she was crying the whole time.
So bad.
But at the end of the video, the woman goes like, my work equipment. She's like, how am I going to explain this to my job? Because he destroyed her work equipment as well. And Rylee and I were talking about it, and we were like, dude.
Yuri was like, what would you do? Like, what would you do?
I
was like, my first thought, I was like, honestly, I'm sending you away, like, because I want to hurt you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so fucking pissed. I want to hurt you. I need to get you fucking away from me.
Exactly.
Like,
I'd be pissed too.
That,
I'd be like,
like, it's not even like he fucked the room up.
Yeah, he made a mess.
Destroyed the house, like to another level where it's like
she might lose her job.
You might hurt me.
No, exactly. But then also
might hurt me one day.
But
like,
also, like, he's living in your house, rent free, eating your food, and then now you're damn near gonna be homeless because of this kid.
Because you took his phone away because he was probably being bad.
So that was the first perspective. Everyone's just like, I was reading the comments in the first video, and a lot of people were saying, "Beat the kid, don't beat the kid, send him to military camp, all this stuff or whatever."
I was like, send him away.
An update has been released, and basically in this update, the mom says that the kid is not 12, he's actually 15, and then also she says that she's been getting shit saying that she faked the video for like viral reasons or whatever it is.
Why would you ever
and
fake
she's like,
that?
no, I'm not faking this. My life is actually fucked right now. There's a tough situation.
She's like, I live in an apartment. I have to fix this myself.
Exactly. But then also she breaks the news to us that her son is not only, he's not 12, he's 15, but he's 6 feet tall, 248 pounds.
270 pounds.
270 pounds, and he has mental issues. And then it brings in like a whole nother thing where like everyone who saw that first video and reacted to it immediately, they're all wrong.
Judging her.
Immediately judging the situation, judging the kid. And we were responsible for that as well, because you see the video and it's almost aggravating. You feel so sympathetic for the lady. But then she breaks down the more of the information and then more of the, the situation, and you realize like this is just a tough ass spot. Like this is where like that's like some adult shit. Like, what do you do there? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like that's the type of thing. Like, I don't even know what you would do unless you're in those shoes, because I don't have experience with people with mental, dealing with kids with mental issues. I'm definitely not a parent to a kid with mental issues, so it's like I don't even know how I would handle that. I
know. I don't think a lot of people would know how to handle it. That's probably why a lot of people had so much to say about the situation.
Yeah.
And obviously nobody understands the situation like she does, and you can even tell from like
this is the video,
her,
guys.
her talking, like I don't know, you just feel for her, like
the refrigerator's toppled over,
and this is
counters
her
destroyed.
family and her son. She probably doesn't want to send him away. She probably doesn't think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if I really had a child and this happened to me, I don't know if I would. I'm saying that because I would just be pissed. Probably looking at this, I'm pissed for her.
But then when you're in those shoes,
but yeah, when you're in those shoes, you never know how you're gonna fucking feel and react.
But
I just feel bad for her.
Video to prove that this damage that was done to my life is real, and that my friend betrayed me and sent this video out to the public.
So that's even more fucked up.
Her
Is
friend
she sent this to her friend because like she was like, oh, this is so fucked up, and her friend posted it because she's like, this is viral content, which is maybe she was trying to do it to start a GoFundMe for her or help her, but like she obviously did not want the situation to be public because that's that's embarrassing, and she probably knows that like people are gonna be mad at my son when this is not his fault. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't know how to control his anger or how to properly project his anger. Like this is just his way of releasing
of something so hurtful, but be real. The damage is real. It's the glass is gone, the broken glass is cleaned up, but the damage is still here. It's still here. Things that have to be. This is an apartment. I have to fix this, and it's not funny. My son is 6 foot tall. He's not 12. He's 15, and he's 270 pounds. So no, I can't spank him.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. People are saying, you obviously don't punish your son physically or your children physically, and she's just like, how am I gonna punish a 6 foot 270 pound dude
who's destroying my whole house, who could obviously destroy me as well,
dude?
And he's mentally ill, so yeah, it's real.
Yeah. This is where like I have to exit the conversation because I'm like, I don't know how I don't know if man.
I've ever talked about this, but I used to babysit this girl back in like my hometown, and I like there's like this app called care.com, and you could like get babysitting gigs and stuff. It's super safe. Like you have to get like verified for all this shit and stuff. And I would babysit this girl. And her mom was like just a single mom, just moved to like my area. She was like from the Midwest and stuff, so she didn't really know anybody and needed a babysitter. Yeah. But her daughter was a shithead. Like she was a little brat. Like when I would come there, and like her mom would give me like the breakdown of what would need to happen, and her daughter would have like a complete meltdown, like throwing toilet paper, like, oh my God. I hate you, like, I hate you, mom. Like,
oh my God. Be like,
blah blah, like, Sarah, like, don't do that, blah blah blah. No. And like one night I had to take her phone because she was being a brat.
Yeah.
And I was like, Sarah, I'm taking your phone, like, you've been too disrespectful, blah blah blah. And I text, and then she like came out screaming at me. She's like, I know you hate me, Rylee, like, I want to hurt you. Like, she was like telling me like all this crazy shit, and like I had to text her mom, like, I'm low-key scared, like, I don't
wow,
like I couldn't, like, because I would like, because her mom did graveyard shifts, like she worked at a hospital, and so I'd watch her like overnight, and she'd come at 6 a.m.
Jeez.
And I'd sleep on her couch and shit.
Oh my God.
And they really, like, she really liked me, and I liked her, like, her mom a lot. Like, she was hella cool, and like I felt for her.
What was the mom's recommendation to do?
She was like, I'm so sorry, like, she came home and stuff that night that happened, but she was like trying to tell, like, she had like a fucked up situation, like, where the dad wasn't involved in her life, and like she like acted out all the time. Like, I could tell she was just like a troubled kid. But she would just be a brat and like just do like random ass shit where it was like, I'm not gonna play with you, like, I'm not gonna deal with you like that. And like sometimes she'd fuck with me, and sometimes she would fucking hate me. And that one night where she's like, I'm gonna hurt you, like, I want to hurt you, I was like, oh fuck, I don't even want to fall asleep here. I'm scared.
My God. But honestly, like, this video, it brings into something to my question, into my, like, just a question to my brain where I'm like, if you're like, that lady seems to be financially stable enough to take care of him, maybe it's like not the best situation because it's her apartment now, she's like in a really tough spot, but like there's this Instagram account I found of like also this dude who, like, his kid has like mental issues, but he lives on a house, and he has like a part of his house dedicated to forgot what he called it, but it was like where his kid, like if he was having a temper tantrum or whatever, he would put him over there.
Yeah.
And it was like a safe area where there was just grass and like he can't hurt himself, but he can flip out and do whatever he wants just to release his anger, and then he'll be fine. He can bring him back into the house or whatever it is. And I was just thinking, like, dude, like, what happens for the parents out there that like can't afford that? You know what I mean? Like, what happens to the parents out there like that? They're just like, I can't afford to take care of my kid because now I will be homeless. Then I can't take care of him. It's like there has to be situations in which the parents are just like have to give the kid to some sort of government program or to another family because they physically or financially, I mean, can't take care of the needs, you know, of what's going on. Because like, look how expensive that was. Their whole apartment was destroyed. Her work stuff was destroyed. How do you
her as a mother,
handle that, you know?
She probably didn't.
That's the
needed,
tough part.
Like the extra help like that. She probably never thought it would ever get to that level until it did, and now. But
I'm wondering, like, are there programs to help families in those situations, or like are families in those situations kind of just like
shit out of luck?
Yeah, like shit out of luck. Basically, they just have to figure it out or whatever. I think
a lot of people just have to figure it out. Unfortunately.
Jeez, I don't know, because I don't have much experience with that shit.
Yeah.
But either way, super fucked up story. I feel bad for that lady.
I know.
Feel bad for that whole situation.
I feel bad that she has to even explain herself, and that her friend did her like
I
that.
know.
Now that it makes me feel even shittier for watching that.
I know, because you're not supposed to. It's like
that was
it's not meant
to be
for us.
her eyes only.
Yeah, why would
How
her friend
do that?
If like my friend sent me a video that personal and traumatic, I would never post it.
Ever.
Even if my friend had posted it already, I wouldn't repost it going like, look at this craziness. You know what I mean? Like, unless my friend posted like, hey, you need money, go fund me or something like that. Yeah, that's so a shady friend. Unless, like I said, the friend might have been thinking she needs to go fund me or something like that, and I could help her by posting this. But that was kind of fucked up. All right, let me see what else we have listed here. Oh, also, guys, apparently after the last Disconnected, Blazzy was like, what's going on? Let's do another 10 Talks, blah, blah. And we're like, we're down, let's do it. And I completely forgot about that conversation until like 5 minutes before we started 10 Talks. And then I was like, oh, babe, like, we're supposed to have Blazzy on. Like, what happened? And she's like, did you reach out? Did you text him? I was like, I forgot. But he didn't text me either. So, Blazzy, we were happy to have you on today's episode. But we both forgot, apparently. So, I don't know.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, next week or some shit like that. Or maybe Harmonious Hour.
Oh, yeah. You guys got to do a Harmonious Hour for sure.
That'd be interesting. Oh, speaking of Harmonious Hour, I already leaked this information, so I might as well repeat it on 10 Talks to promote it. But guys, I thought you were going to pour another one. Guys, I have some big news. The whole purpose behind me starting Harmonious Hour, and I've talked about this before, where it's basically I'm trying to like expand the quote unquote network, expand the YouTube channel, work with people I haven't worked with before, you know, and just like make friends, and because you know it definitely helps make friends as well. And
also, Yuri's just good at he has like a lot of things he's interested in, and some of the things I just can't.
Yeah, like for like skateboard, you know, like skateboarder stuff, and like I try to bring on where Riley's like, I don't feel like I have too much to say about it. But anyways, like, the other reason is like also to try to like help grow the brand, because like I said, after the Big Chief interview, I did a shout to Big Chief. Guys, by the way, he had me and Toke on. You guys should go check that out if you guys are down. I talked about how like what helped grow the Harmonious Man channel, and it was 10 Talks. It was because we were working with people we haven't worked with before, which was basically the whole No Jumper universe that was growing. But I was like, dude, like I want to work with. That's the thing that they talk about that helps YouTubers grow, is collabing, you know, and working with one another. And I'm not doing vlogs or anything to collab with people. What makes sense for me to collab with people the most is podcasts, I guess, you know, maybe live streams or some shit like that as well. But so that's the main reason why I've been trying to focus and, you know, work on Harmonious Hour. And guys, it's been, to be honest, it's been adding like a significant level of like anxiety to my daily days, where like every Wednesday I have to have a new guest, and I'm purposely trying to get someone outside of the No Jumper universe, because it's just like everyone has a YouTube channel who works at No Jumper. AD has one, I have one, Duno has one.
Everybody does.
You know, everyone's working on their own thing, and if we're all interviewing each other on each other's platforms, like it's just gonna get diluted and milked down, and you guys yourselves are gonna be like, everyone's just going on each other's things, which is like it's like a good thing to do, but then also if you do it too much, it's just like, what do you guys, what's really even happening here? It's just everyone's on the same thing over there and over there. So like I'm trying to work outside that group or whatever it is, and it's been giving me a lot of anxiety where I'm just like, got to get a new guest every Wednesday. But then also not only that is a couple of the guests we've had on, I'm like freaking out thinking like, I want this to be a good experience and not have them leave thinking like, this dude's an idiot, this is dumb, I wasted my time, this got no views.
Both of your guests both really like their experiences. I could tell.
I hope so, like, but like I feel bad about is like we have a small platform here, especially Harmonious Hour is like new. They come here with these giant fan bases and these giant view counts, and then they leave here with like, we don't really get that many views. And I'm like sometimes thinking like, oh, that might come off a little weird and all that stuff. But anyways, it just all this stuff has been kind of like building on my shoulders. But then also the main thing is asking people questions and how to carry the interview, and then also sitting down with the person I never sat down with before and do it's just like a whole new thing that I'm kind of learning, I guess. And I have way more respect for Adam and Trevor, who's also Trevor's been doing this for like, I don't know, a year or longer already, like interviewing people on his own and all that stuff. And it seems all easy and stuff until you actually have people who are like, have huge following counts or subscriber counts, and they're all of a sudden sitting right here. And you're like, oh, fuck, like, hello, sir. You know what I mean? Like, it just starts getting hella anxiety ridden almost. But anyways, this month, the next two guests is the reason why I feel like I have so much anxiety is first, this Wednesday, we're going to have Brian Arnett, a fellow YouTuber, and he has a skateboarding YouTube channel where he does vlogs and stuff. He's going to come on Wednesday. I'm going to sit down with him. Huge shout out to him for agreeing to come through. We were supposed to do it last Wednesday, but I got sick, and he was cool enough to like reschedule and all that stuff. So huge shout out to Brian Arnett. We're going to do that this Wednesday. I'm really, really excited about that. I want that one to go well as well. And then the next week, the 28th, we're apparently officially going to have Ice Poseidon on via Zoom because he lives in Texas. So we're going to do it through Zoom. But like I said, I've already talked about this during the stream, so I don't feel weird talking about this now. I hope I'm not, fucking jinxing it or whatever by fucking talking about it ahead of time. But guys, basically I donated to him. I asked him if he was down. And then he DM'd me afterwards and followed me on Instagram, and we like talked and shit, and then he said he's down to do it via Zoom. So I'm super excited for that one as well. But with the Ice Poseidon one, I have like it's gonna be more difficult because if you go on YouTube and type in Ice Poseidon, there's like 8 documentaries made about him. There's so many videos made about him. There's this whole history of all this other stuff of like the CX network and these people that were part of the streams and these people were part of the streams. Like so much shit has happened that I don't even almost know what to ask about anymore. You know what I mean? So that's like a whole another part of like stress where I'm just like, fuck, I want this one to be good and not to be like, hey, so what's up with Asian Andy? What's up with Mexican Andy? What's up with, like whatever it is. It's just like,
you already know in your head that's not what you want to ask, so you already know you're not going to do that. This is where you psych yourself out, and like that's honestly a good thing that you know so much about him, and like pause, and not in a weird way, and like all the things that have been asked, so like you can have a different perspective because you do have a lot of questions, and you do have like a lot of things you want to know. Yeah.
And also, it'd be interesting is if he even remembers that I was at his house before for this one stream.
I was also going to say, like, look at Nick Tucker. Like, he was, like, so surprised at, like, all the questions you asked and, like, impressed because he's been in a lot of interviews, too, it looks like. Yeah. And, like, he wasn't asked those questions that you brought to the table. Like, that's the cool part about your show. Yeah. And it seems like both people, Ricky and Nick, had, like, a good-ass time afterwards. Like, the after show, like, you're a good host. Yeah. People like actually have fun. Like you just want to have a fun, chill conversation. Like you don't have that pressure. Yeah. You don't want to put that pressure on. Like it's like a.
Sound like, hey, so how's
you're pressing
blah, blah,
them.
whatever.
Yeah, you're pressing them. Like no.
You know what I noticed about Nick Tucker though is, he's a very popular big professional skateboarder, and there's a lot of people who have this like clout and this like very cool job that comes with what they're doing in LA, and it usually comes with like a toxic friend group or a weird friend group, or people don't seem so genuine and all that stuff. Bro, I kicked it here with Nick Tucker and his I forgot the names of everyone already, but all his friends afterwards for like an hour or 2 or 3 hours almost.
Yeah.
And everyone was so, it was like honestly like he had the most genuine cool friend group ever. It's like that's where I was just like, that's cool, because so many people you see in life, they become successful and then they get surrounded by these fucking like fake ass people basically, you know what I mean? And then like after hanging out with all of them for like 3 hours, I was like, this is so cool. I was like, this is like it reminds me of me and my homies back in the day. I was like, this is like a genuine ass like homie group right here. You know what I mean? I was like, this is cool vibes. Like I liked it a lot. And I was like, it just like everyone, I saw a lot of people commenting about it, how like Nick Tucker just is a very chill, cool guy, and I'm not surprised that he carries a cool friend group around with him as well, you know?
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys. Cheers. All right, I think that covers all the topics we had. That's about it for guys. Also, God damn it, my brain fucking froze. I was thinking about Toke. Speaking of Toke, I had a dream about him the other day. Weird dream. Anyways, guys, what I was going to say, but then I thought it would be weird to get right into it. But I was going to say, for the audio listeners, the podcast will be out the day after Sunday. So we film it Sundays live.
So it'll be
the
on
audio
Monday.
version will be out on Mondays officially. I've realized that's the best way to do it. We usually are lit and high and want to eat lunch or dinner afterwards. So we like basically I will take care of it on Monday. Monday the audio version goes up. They've all been updated. The last one's up. It went out on last Monday, so this one will be going up tomorrow. Shout out to everyone that listens through the audio platforms. Right, like what the fuck. If you guys can, please leave a like before we wrap this up, because we are going to wrap this up right now. If you guys can, please leave a comment as well in the comment section.
And if you haven't already,
oh yes,
subscribe.
Are you down yet? Can we get the official yes or no?
Really do.
Please. We're so close. We need the
I'm just going to be all over Reddit.
So I can promo it.
Handcuffed to you. All my worst
You're
moments.
Embarrassed?
No, because they're going to tear me down on my worst.
Reddit can suck my hairy asshole, dude. Come on.
Great. Now they're going to love that one.
Oh my god. Well, you know.
Yuriy talks about the Reddit can suck his hairy asshole. Who is this guy?
I'm trying to convince guys, we're less than 300 subscribers away from 25k, and I'm trying to convince Rylee to be handcuffed to me for 24 hours for a stream. I would like to do it with Toke, but like I said, Toke and I are good frins and all.
Yeah.
But I need to poop and pee within 24 hours. I don't want to do that with him.
You guys love seeing each other's horns.
No. I want to be handcuffed to you for 24 hours. Are you down? Come on.
I don't want to poop in front of you either.
You poop in front of me all the time.
Not like that.
It's fine. I'll get the gas mask out. Not like that. Well, you're going to have some gnarly poops?
Ow.
Are you down, yes or no?
Dude.
Say yes.
Stop. You're pressuring me.
I'll be handcuffed to myself at this point. Jeez. Anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna end this episode.
Disappointed.
And then also we're gonna get into the after show in like a minute or two. So
Cuff 'em.
we'll see you guys in like a minute or two for the after show. Either way, thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Please leave a comment. Please leave a like. It really helps grow the channel. And then also, fucking take your mom's and dad's phone and leave a subscribe, guys, so we can hit 25k.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends in school. Go to Miss Breast's class and fucking make a wood shop subscribe thing that says Harmonious, man. I don't know. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
Breast class.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Drink some breast milk.
Yes. Oh yes. Also, breastfeed.
Please breastfeed.
As late as possible. You should still. I wish I could still be breastfeeding now.
You probably.
Oh my god.
You probably are low key.
All right. Shut up. All right. After show in like a minute or two.